Hey guys, I got some winter farmhouse DIYs for some after Christmas decor that I'm really excited to share with you. So, thank you for joining me today. I'm Whitney with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and let's jump into our first DIY. So, these little girls here from the Dollar Tree are their little tinsel trees. I've seen them for a few years in a row, but this year they had buffalo check. Not sure that that mattered, but what happened was I eventually reused that, which that wasn't planned, but it was just one of those happy little farmhouse accidents. Maybe farmhouse accident isn't exactly a good term. I don't know. But anyways, so I'm going to use two of those trees. I have 6-inch wide burlap. I've got that at Michael's. And then also these are just trim ties. But these are little twist ties that you can get that look like Christmas tree goodies. I've seen them everywhere. You can get them at Dollar Tree as well. In any event, we're just going to basically use them as the decoration. So I unraveled the tinsel from the little trees from Dollar Tree, and you get these little plastic cone shaped goodies here. Now, I'm showing you this first idea because I was originally going through this process like you would a mesh wreath. And also, what I'm going to show you here real quick, I'm going to stop and just go forward and put this real time. The way I'm folding this over to start the top of the tree is sort of important. So I'm going to fold them over kind of like you would like an envelope. You're going to fold over both sides. So we're going to make sort of like a triangle. And then I'm going to fold that down just enough to cover up the raw edges. And once you get that down, we're going to then pinch the tip of the tree right in the middle of that little fold that we made. So you'll see here that once I get it in my hands correctly, we gotta let the glue dry. You just put it right in the middle of the tip of the tree and then pinch it down. And then you'll see me, I'm just kind of like adjusting it, making sure I have it in the right spot, and then trying to figure out how to wrap this burlap around. But I put it right in the middle after I put the glue on it, and then I'm holding it. And you need to hold it for a certain amount of time. This burlap and the plastic, this all kind of took a little bit of time, but now I'm holding it here. I'm starting out with, I cut one of those what do you want to call them? I'm going to call them pipe cleaners that look like Christmas tree, the tree ties. I cut them up into little pieces because I was really going to attack this like you do a mesh wreath when you're making the poof method of a mesh wreath. But what it started to look like was, the parts of pizza that bubble up when it's in the oven, like the best part of pizza. It's not the best part of home decor. So I did a couple, but it was really looking bad. It didn't even look like a tree anymore. So I just undid it. But I wanted to show you at least the top part because that didn't change. So instead, I took the little ties out, I unraveled it, and working from the top down, I'm just taking my burlap now and I'm gluing it. I'm gathering it in my hand to make a nice little, you can see how I'm holding it. I'm kind of just folding it together. I'm not really gathering it. I'm not really, poofing it or scrunching it. I'm just kind of gathering it like you would in your hand if you were going to wrap it around. Basically what I'm saying is like you're going to wrap it around a tree frame. Duh. But as I'm going, I'm applying glue to the frame, the little plastic frame of the tree. And then also at some points where I want it to overlap, you can put glue on the actual burlap, and then you're going to be gluing some of the burlap together as well. So as I'm applying this down the tree, we're going to take some of the goodies here. Now I left this real time so you could see. It's not exactly a fast process, but you can see how it's going. It's kind of rewarding. You do have to hold some stuff down, and there's a couple processes in these trees here that took some patience that I normally don't have, but it was turning out so pretty and so farmhouse. I couldn't say no. It's so cute. I love it. So you see how I'm just folding it over. It's a 6-inch wide burlap. I've gotten that at Michael's many years ago. I've got so much of it. I have literally 4,000,000 time rolls of it. But anyways, you can get that still at Michael's. You can get it Hobby Lobby. I haven't seen 6-inch wide at Dollar Tree. I think I've got 2.5-inch wide, but in any event, you can get that pretty much at a lot of different supply stores if you need to. And also burlapfabric.com's got all kinds of different widths and lengths. But just wrap the whole frame in, and it's pretty solid. Now this burlap, it doesn't weigh a lot. It's not heavy. And so when you're done, you have a nice little tidy burlap wrapped tree, and it looks very, very cozy and very farmhouse and rustic and so cute. And I'm showing you the inside for some reason. And that's important. So I did that to both trees. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find a way, as I'm staring at them like, my original plan wasn't really coming together because I had to change my approach to it. So we didn't do the, mesh wreath style that I had in my mind. So I was just messing around here by grabbing the tinsel and putting it back on, but I loved it. And you know why I loved it, you guys. If you've been here for a while, you'll know. I loved it because it was the buffalo check. So instead of cutting these tree twist ties up, I basically left it whole, and I was going to say, okay, well, I'll just twist this around the tree and make it decorative. I wanted there to be some sort of pine element in the tree so it still looked like a winter tree. So it still was a tree, a holiday tree, but technically at this point we're doing winter themed items to get us out of the Christmas holiday into just transitioning our decor into the winter months before we start going crazy with all of our, Valentines and spring and Easter goodies that'll be coming out soon. So I glued these down in a spiral pattern. So just start at the top and twist them around. Each tree only took 2 ties. It's going to depend on where your ties are from. And if you don't have these types of twist tie, I'd say use ribbon, use pipe cleaner, use, sometimes you can get mesh tubing, anything that would put a pretty little spiral on it for you. I am going to apply that buffalo check tinsel garland there to the tree because I couldn't say no. Now, I loved it the way it was, just like that, but I really was, I was just messing around, but this is one of them craft room happy accidents that I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to reuse it. Because I was like, originally, I didn't, okay, hold on. Were those even words just now? Originally. See how excited I got over buffalo check? Okay, so here's the 2 trees after we just have the regular tinsel, the regular ties on them. Very nice, very rustic. You could stop here. I'm going to be extra. Got to go extra and extra. And I'm going to attach this buffalo check garland to it. Now, they had all kinds of colors of tinsel. This is what I was trying to explain before I got way too excited and words stopped being put into sentence making. It's buffalo check. So I grabbed the buffalo check because I was so excited for it. But they had pinks and golds and silvers and all kinds of different patterns. And for some reason, I grabbed the buffalo check. Well, I mean, not for some reason. I grabbed buffalo check because I'm obsessed with it, not knowing that I would reuse it. But it's also not a shiny, sparkly one. It is a plastic garland. So some might say it might be a little bit too on the cheap side, but I don't think it takes from the project. I love how these girls turned out, and they are going to look great in my home decor when I'm transitioning out of all of, the holly berries and the Merry Christmases and, the bells and angels. And we're just going to leave this out for a nice little winter theme. There's no stars on top, which again, you can easily add all this stuff. You could add red berries, you could add stars, you could put angels, you could do anything you want to these guys. So here's just your base tree. Again, stop here if you like what you see. And I was going to, but I felt like it needed more. So there's me messing with the garland, trying to fluff it again. And so what I decided was I was going to add some greenery. So I have a boxwood pick from Walmart. They're very, very popular. They have them year round. My Walmarts carry them all the time. And then this is a mistletoe pick that I got at Dollar Tree way early in the season. Now I only have 1 mistletoe pick, so there's 6 stems on it. I'm going to use 3 on each tree because I have 2 trees that I got to put out. And so what I plan to do is use 3 of those mistletoe picks with the white berries on it. And then I'm just going to piece apart the boxwood and just kind of tuck it in little places here and there. It wants to say hi, wants to come out and just, say, hey, look at me, I'm cute. Just asking for attention. But that's okay. Just tell her she's gorgeous and she'll be happy. So I'm tucking it into the garland. I'm tucking it into the folds of the burlap. And here I'm going to show you how I actually took apart the picks off of the boxwood. So I cut this bottom part off. That's what attaches it to the stem. And then from there, I cut it into 2 pieces. So you're just going to put your wire cutters literally right in between the branches of it where it's coming into branch out, if that makes sense. So I've turned the one little piece into 2 pieces, and this has made it much more uniform for the size of the project we're working on. It fits a lot better as the smaller piece, because the bigger ones I was putting in there, and it was starting to look a little bit too like an overgrown topiary that hasn't been trimmed all year kind of thing. So I was just adding them in, making them, correct the size, just placing them where I want. Now I didn't go overboard, which is very weird for me. I must have had, a meal or something and I wasn't hangry. I don't know. But I didn't go overboard with the boxwood. I just kind of tucked it in and made a couple little highlights here and there, and I think they turned out great. A couple of the little, you could see the little white styrofoam balls was falling off, but again, that's Dollar Tree. That's to be expected, and a lot of the stuff does shed. But there, I just added a few pieces here and there. And again, you can stop before. You don't have to add any of this too. So here I'm going to try to show you both of these, but I was having a difficulty, like how do I twist these and turn them? Every angle you get a different look, you get a different feel. So I thought, okay, well, I'm putting them down and moving, and why don't I just stick my hand inside of it? Oh, there we go, like lobster claws. That was totally doing lobster claws, or pot holders, you know. But anyways, let's go to the actual real studio lights in my garage and show you real close up. Look how pretty they turned out. They turned out so cozy and so just wintry. It's just, I love them. I love them. These still work for rustic farmhouse. They would work for shabby chic. You could add pearls to them if you want to glam them up a little bit. You could add all kinds of ideas for your particular decor for what you want. But these girls are going to look great in my house just for the transition from Christmas into winter. And you could also add anything in it and not glue it, and then they'd still be good to transition them back into Christmas, and then from Christmas back to winter for next year. You guys let me know what you think for these two little girls. I think they turned out great, and my Dollar Tree still had a lot of those tinsel trees sitting there. So here's to this. Add some ideas, and you guys let me know what you think. All right, now when I was just at Dollar Tree, this is brand new to me. This little DIY letterboard I picked up. I had no clue what I would do with it, but I must have it. So I grabbed this and I was like, oh, look at all these little letters back here. We'll see how that turns out. Now, I'm going to add to it, I'm going to use these wood planks. Now, if you see these at Dollar Tree, grab them up. You get 6 of them. 6 of them in one pack. So I need 1 of them here, and then the letterboard itself. I'm going to turn this into a stand-up sign from a hanging sign. I did not want to hang it. So I'm taking the hanger off. And again, I think a flathead screwdriver has been my best tool to get some of these things off the Dollar Tree hanging stuff. And then just a little bit of sanding, and those little holes are gone. Now, the edges were a little rough, so I cleaned that up with my finger sander. It's in my Amazon shop. That's linked below. And then I'm going to take my antique Waverly wax and a baby wipe, and I'm only going to put that on the highlighted edges, or the raised parts of our letterboard here. Now you can see that I got a little bit on the actual back part of the board, but I was able to get that off with my finger sander again. It's a lifesaver, and she looks great. So the bottom part, we are going to secure our letterboard to this and make it a stand-up piece. So I'm going to stain this wood plank from Dollar Tree as well. All the sides, top, bottom, back, side, left, right, up, down, all around in a circle, just stain the whole thing. Skip some parts if you don't want, if you know it's not going to show or not. I just stained the whole thing because it felt fun, and I already had my goodies out. So here, after everything is dry, we are going to sand a little bit. We need to weather it. We need to distress it, and we need it to be a little bit of messy, a little bit of beautiful. And so finger sander, then a hand sander, so I got my edges to come out. And then also, you could see the weathered on the corners. That's all we really need. We don't need that much. And then I'm doing the same thing on the actual letterboard, just to make it look like it's been sitting there for a while, because everything has to be distressed. It has to look like it's been sitting there for a good old time, eavesdropping on all your conversations. It's lived a hard life. So now the idea here is to stand it up on this plank. So I needed some support. So enter our wonderful little tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree, or any other type of wood support, or anything you have that you can glue to the back that will help things stand up. And because I need it all to match, I'm going to stain the tumbling tower blocks as well, and make sure that I leave the raw edges that are going to show. But I mean, again, the other stuff is stained as well. A little bit of wood glue, a little bit of hot glue, and it's pretty solid on its own, but we don't want to stress any little piece. And then of course, the worst thing is making something and then like 2 days later it falls apart. So we're going to add these. I added 3 of the tumbling tower blocks down flat against their sides. So I put glue on the bottom, and then also on the edge that's going to touch the sign or the letterboard. And then I felt like it needed just a little bit more. So after, I'm sorry about the angle too, because of the shadow that's casting on there. I try to move this as much as possible to show you this angle here with the light. So that's my first round of support, and I felt like it just needed just a little bit more. So I put 2 going up, and that's really more just gluing one to the other and to the other. So I'm gluing it to the letterboard, to the tumbling tower block below it, and making sure that everything touches. So now we've got our board, and she's all supported, and she's so cute. but we're going to have to add our happy little farmhouse goodness to it. So here I'm showing you more of the back after we got better lighting. And I am going to do the same sort of wintry premise, even though I know boxwood's not a winter feel, but any type of greenery, in my opinion, where I'm from is acceptable. I don't live in a specific area where, you know, certain wintry things disappear. Green is green. And where I live in the desert, you have to purchase all of your green. So I added a couple boxwood picks, and then I had this extra little eucalyptus pick off of something I'd owned for a while, added that in, and now I'm making a finger bow out of my Dollar Tree ribbon here, this buffalo check ribbon, which is beautiful. I have a link to a separate finger bow tutorial in my YouTube description, in the video description below, and then also it's about a 5-6 minute video that shows you slowed down in progress, in detail, how to do this. And you'll see here, I took it out. If you notice just now, I was struggling with that knot. I retie these still, and I make these bows all the time. I practice for a very long time. It gets easier, but they're so cute and so effective. So take a peek at that video if you want to see it slowed down, and then you'll be able to see that eventually it will come. And then also, I take them out too. My first tie is not usually always the first one that I go with. So just see and know that if you're struggling with it like I did for a very long time, it will happen. It will come to you. So while applying the bow, I did take off some pieces of the eucalyptus that were sticking out. I cut off little pieces of some of the leaves on it, just making things fit around. So I'm kind of just doing like a cute little, like, I guess you could say like a centerpiece look or a swag look to the bottom of the base. It doesn't interfere too much with the bottom part, so you can still slide the letters in if you want. I didn't use them in this instance, but whatever your heart desires to place in there, you can place that in there. And so, of course, I went with the word farmhouse. And then also I was realizing they gave you a decent amount of these little letters. Now, they're double-sided, but you get 2 sheets of them. They're not the best, as you can see here, because my frustrations were many while I was trying to get everything organized. And my finger wasn't really working, so okay, let me get my fingernail in here. Let me move this around. Let me get this here. Okay, oh, nope, then this wants to go crooked. Okay, so let me get this little plastic tool. Maybe one of my Dollar Tree scrapey doodads will work. I don't know. I just grabbed tools, guys. I was like, okay, I got farmhouse right in there. So we're going to add winter to the bottom because this is a farmhouse winter themed video, yeah? Oh, I got WINTER. And I telling you, I touched it and I messed it all up and I was trying to organize. Yeah, I cut some out of this, guys, because you didn't need to see me on the struggle bus. You know, again, it has its own permanent stop right out front of my craft room. And it looks great here, right? Look how cute she is. I thought I was done, but then I was like, wait a minute. Why don't I keep, these in a little Ziploc with the sign, because I will never find them again if I ever just put this out. So I just glued a clothespin to the back of the sign, and then with one of the various many millions of Ziploc baggies I have in my craft room, I put the rest of the letters in there, so it's always on the back of the sign. Now you can use one of those little metal claw grabber doodad hoo-ha thingies that would probably hold the bag a little bit stronger than that clothespin did, but I think that was a great idea on my part. Patting myself on the back right now. Also thought I was done, but wasn't. Also thought I was recording, but I wasn't. I made another finger bow. This is some new ribbon I just got off of Amazon. It's linked in my Amazon shop. Here's the label, if that helps. I do not even see a description on there, but it's called Panda Haul. It's 100 yards of 3/8 inch striped ribbon. It's a grosgrain ribbon, and I made a finger bow out of it. So cute. Added the perfect little touch in the middle. And I don't know why my lighting is so different from the previous part of that video, and I'm trying to fix that, guys, so you'll see different lighting. So again, I apologize. So now we are in my garage with the studio lights, and I'm just going to do my slow little reveal. Isn't she beautiful? Now you're going to see that clothespin because I'm looking down at it. Again, pick something else if you have another way to secure it. I just needed a way to be able to take the bag off so that we don't lose it. Because I think in my instance, I'll put them in my craft room drawer and I will never see them again for at least 2 years. And I'll go, oh yeah, these are the letters for that one thing I made that one time over on that one day. Anyways, moving on. You guys let me know how you like that. Tell me what you think. Now, this last little DIY here, this is really, really fast, but really, really fun. I got this idea from Deidre at My Upcycled Life. She does some amazing stuff with some beautiful things. Now, I don't have anything weathered or ready to upcycle, so I have all new stuff. So I got some Dollar Tree candle holders, and then I've got 2 mason jar lids from my own drinking glasses in my kitchen. And then I'm also going to use my Starbound thick adhesive and my Starbound accelerator to attach all these goodies. So first things first, I got to get the label off of these lids. Now I bought these at a store and I've used these. These are wide. I have wide mouth, very large mason jars that I use as my drinking glasses for my kitchen. I love mason jars. I love Farmhouse. So that's how it is. I bought probably like, I don't know, 12 or 24 of them a long time ago. I use them for iced tea. I use them all the time. Side note, they're a little bit hard to keep clean if you have high calcium content in your water. Just so you know, you use a lot of lemon to keep them clean. In any event, I had a lot of extra lids. Now you can buy these lids. You can get lids and bands separately online or in your grocery store, anywhere where there's canning items, but I had extra lids, so I used them. I applied the Starbond to the inside of the lid, or the inside of the band, and then put the lid inside so that it's now a permanent piece. And now I'm going to use the same Starbond thick adhesive to apply to the glass of the candlestick. And then I'm going to apply the accelerator on the back of the lid, place that down on top, and now you have a solid piece. This Starbond stuff works amazingly on products that don't normally stick together. So glass and metal, huge no-no, and they don't get along. It's like oil and water in the hot glue world. So they're pretty much permanent, and that's it. Now you can stop here. They're nice and shiny and cute, and they're very, very, very Farmhouse. But I'm going to add some antique wax because I want my lids to look like the ones that Deidre did in her video. I will link her video. At least I think it was an Instagram post that I saw too. I'm not sure if she actually did a video on it, but I'll try to find something to link in the description so you can see. But look what the antique wax did to the metal. Doesn't it make it look like it's already rusty and aged? I love it. I love it to death. And I want to say that this is my favorite from this video because it's just so simple and so fast. And the technique is, there's nothing to it. I'm just taking my chip brush and I'm taking that antique wax and I'm applying it like you would a stencil. I'm just tapping it all around the inside of everywhere. On the outside, on the bottom, I turned it upside down. I'm doing the inside of the rim, and I'm also doing the inside of the lid. Now, I don't know that the wax is going to stay on the inside of the lid part because it is got a coating on it for, normally for it's food safe. But all of the metal and everything, it's already dried. It's not coming off, but you could also feel free to seal it all. I'm not sure how it would work with the glass, but here I'm showing you the difference between the two. So if you want, leave them as is, or if you'd like, do another better step up for the aging process. So here I'm showing you I did both my lids, so now they look all old and rusty, and I love them. I'm so excited, like I'm shaking and looking at the ceiling. I wish you guys could see me sometimes. So here I bought these two little LED lights from Dollar Tree. I didn't have high hopes for them, but these guys really light up, man. For $1.25, I can't be mad. So I was just grabbing stuff off to the side to see if there was something I could show you guys how I was going to stage it. And I was just going to try to make like a little like wannabe candle ring type thing out of some boxwood picks, and then another piece of one of those tinsel things that I kind of cut up for the first part of our first DIY. Didn't work out. And even then, that still looks really good together. You just kind of apply it in a different fashion. But what I ended up doing is I just used a little bit of Spanish moss, and I cut apart two of those little picks from the Walmart boxwood. And I just kind of stuck them in a nice little pile, shoved it all together, and stuck the tea light back in the middle. And I don't know what it is. It just gives me that happy, cozy feeling. I just smile when I look at them. I was like, it's so easy and so fast. You can make these in mass. I mean, these would look great on a tablescape or a centerpiece, or even for like a wedding. I mean, I love these. Also, you could apply some ribbon to the neck of the candlestick or around the outside of the band. Any kind of grosgrain or, I don't know, buffalo check. And here they are on my table in my house. There's my picture of my daddy. And that was our dog, Primo, when she was a puppy. She's a German Shepherd. That's a very old picture. I don't have that many of my dad. If you guys have watched my channel, I did a Father's Day tribute. My dad passed away many years ago. So these mason jar lid rings were like perfect to place on this table with his picture. He was a very, very country guy. He was very, very, Budweiser and Chevy trucks. That was my dad. So I love the way they look here. Now, of course, I'm not going to leave them both there, but I am going to put one on that table next to his picture because I think it just screams American. It screams Farmhouse, But that's it for you guys. You guys tell me what you think of what we did and how it all turned out. And let me know if you guys want to duplicate anything. Please send me pictures in Instagram. That's the best way to send me things. I have the Facebook, but I don't I have the Facebook, but I don't check it. I just don't like Facebook that much, if I'm being honest. I use Instagram if you need to communicate with me, and also there's an email through that too. But send me pictures if you guys want to send pictures or chit chat or jibber jabber. Please also send comments. Leave comments below. Watch time and comments help me very, very much in YouTube. Helps YouTube know that you like my video, helps suggest me to other people. My reindeer video got sent around somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but it was wonderful to see that I got that many views and comments. So I want to thank everybody so much for all of that support. And let me know what you guys think of these DIYs. I had a lot of fun making them. So much fun. And again, you guys are about to see a bunch more farmhouse goodies coming up. And I've got so much planned for the new year. I'm so excited for it. But stay tuned. We will have many, many more. Many, many more. Y'all aren't getting rid of me anytime soon. But I love these things. I love the green. I love that buffalo check. I love all that. Also, I was thinking is you could actually paint that sign where we put the brown. We could actually paint those stripes black. Yes, I have also my coffee page. Thank you so much to everyone who has sent me any type of donation through my coffee page. You are helping me keep my channel going, my supplies coming, and I love you for every second of it. And if you're not able to monetarily support, that is okay. I love you just as much. All the YouTube support is just as helpful as anything can be. So just again, say hi, just type hello down at the bottom. Give me a like, all that good stuff. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining me again today. I can't wait to see what the new year brings us. More channel growth, more farmhouse goodness for our souls. So many, many hugs, happy crafting, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.